Feeling stuck with writer's block? The idea's just not coming? Don't worry, I've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to reveal the top 5 ways to cure writer's block and unleash that creativity. Stick around. Hey gang, we've all been there. The dreaded blank page staring back at us, or the empty Pro Tools session just looking at us from the screen, seemingly mocking our creativity. Writer's block is something that every great writer and creative has faced, from Shakespeare to Rowling. So grab your favourite writing tools, your guitar, a cup of coffee, and let's go through my top 10 ways to cure the dreaded writer's block. Method number 1, boredom. Boredom fosters creativity. Now this is something that has got more apparent to me as I've gotten older and I've got kids, because they're always stuck on their devices, and when they don't have them or the battery goes flat, it's like the world is going to end. And then 30 seconds later it's like, Dad, I'm bored. Dad, I'm bored. Dad, I'm bored, I've got nothing to do. But then you leave them to stew in that boredom for a little while and a funny thing starts to happen. Their imagination kicks in and they start getting all creative. And it's amazing to watch. They'll start to find ways to play with whatever is there in their environment. It can be something as simple as a stick in the garden. They'll find it and they'll find ways to get creative and make a game with it. And for myself, the times I've been the most creative are when I'm bored. Many years ago, I used to work at a supermarket and my job was to wrap meat. So I was on a wrapping machine and it was a boring, monotonous job. I was literally just on the wrapper, wrapping meat all day. And as I'm doing this repetitive boredom work, I would start writing songs in my head, not about wrapping meat, but just melodies and ideas, and they would just come to me because I was that bored. And then come to my lunch break, I was lucky enough to live close to work. I would run home, my lunch break, break out the guitar and finish the song. These days, I do a lot of driving and I'm constantly listening to podcasts. Whenever I get in the car, there's always something on. So my brain doesn't have time to switch off at all. But if I do need to get creative, I'll switch everything off and I'll just drive. And then the ideas will start to come. It's like it forces your brain to come up with ideas. Method number 2, free writing. If you're writing lyrics, try free writing. What I would do is set a timer for about 10 minutes and just write. Just write whatever comes into your head. Don't worry about spelling or grammar or anything like that, just write. Doing an exercise like this helps to break through that mental barrier and ignite that creative spark. If you're writing music, there's a little thing called piggybacking that I like to do. So piggybacking is where you'll open up a Pro Tools session or Cubase or whatever DAW you use. I would loop 4 bars and at whatever tempo you like, it doesn't really matter. And then I'll record something, usually just a chord pattern, rhythm pattern. And then I would open a new track and I would record something to complement what I just written. And then I would open another track and I would mute the first one and record something to complement the second track. And I'd go through to do it about 10 times. And then you've got all these ideas that can work together and be used in a song. And you can repeat this process as many times as required. Number 3, change up your environment. If you've been staring at the same 4 walls, maybe it's time to switch things up a little bit. Find a cozy cafe or a park or even a library. Just that change in scenery can be enough to stimulate fresh ideas and get the creative juices flowing. Brainstorm with others. If you collaborate with other musos or writers, then you can share your ideas, listen to their perspectives, and bounce off each other's creativity. Then together, you'll overcome writer's block and inspire new concepts. Personally, I'm yet to master this, but I know it works really well for most people. And number 5 is to embrace the power of prompts. Now, prompts basically provide a starting point to unleash your imagination. And there's books or websites or apps that can provide these prompts. Or they can be as simple as a word or a sentence or a scenario. And you need to let these prompts guide you on a journey. I'll sometimes read a fictional novel or listen to one on Audible and be inspired to write about a particular character or a feeling I have or just a particular scenario within that book. Now, if you enjoyed or got any value out of this video, please feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I'd love to know some of your favourite ways to beat writer's block, so leave them in the comments below. So guys, unlock your creativity by trying some of these 5 methods to beat writer's block. And remember, even the most accomplished creatives face this challenge. So don't be discouraged, keep writing and let your creativity flourish. We'll see you next time.